guys, so today I will be replacing my steering servo because this truck is an amazing ready to run truck. Traxxas did an amazing job on it, but the only bad part about it is the steering servo. So the part number, this waterproof steering servo, what I will be replacing with it, the part number is SW0231MG. It's a Savox. And then my dad will explain the rest of the little specs and details while I get started.
Okay, yeah, so I put this exact servo in my truck when the servo went because, like Dyllan was saying, Traxxas did a really good job on a ready-to-run truck. Unfortunately, the steering servo is not very good, and we've heard complaints on this exact topic all over YouTube. So mine lasted 40 minutes, like Dyllan said, and I replaced it, and now Dyllan's is gone, so he's going to replace his. So I believe the stock servo that's in the truck now is a 125 ounces of torque per square inch. This one is 208.3 to be exact. So I believe the speed is the same, 0.17. And this particular servo fits perfect in the spot. So I'll open it up for you, Dyllan.
Okay.
Are you telling everybody what you're doing there or what?
Yeah, I'm just taking the screws out to unattach this box. So now I gotta flip the truck over. And then I'm gonna have to change my bit here. Get the 2 mil in instead of the 2.5. And I will take out, where'd that screw go? There it is. This screw right in here. You guys might not be able to see it, but it's down here. Here.
It's your steering link, isn't it?
Yep.
So you gotta remove the steering link screw?
Yep. It's out. I just gotta get the screw to come like the rest of the way out.
Now you got her.
Yeah. Come on. Come over here. Go, got the screw. Put that aside. So now that I got that done, I flip the truck back on its right side. And then gotta take this apart.
The receiver cover.
The receiver cover. I have to take that one out.
Yeah. There's 3 screws on the receiver cover, and then 2 screws on the receiver seal. Wire seal cover.
Yeah.
Oh. I guess you could call it that.
Where'd that go? There it is. Oh, stuck now.
So how are you enjoying the scale truck crawlers and stuff?
I like it.
Yeah? There's 3 screws on that one, remember, buddy?
Yeah.
There's one back there.
I think there's also another one back here.
Well, as we explained, there's 3 on the cover and 2 on the wire squeezer. Right? Okay, so I asked you how you like these trucks.
I like them. It's fun.
Yeah.
They're different than this fast.
Okay, don't lose
trucks.
your rubber seal.
Yeah.
And try not to damage your rubber seal.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Where's your screws for that? These are your screws for this?
Yeah.
Let's put them with it, okay?
Yeah.
And Dad's just going to move the body out of the way so we have room.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're going to have to, can you wiggle that servo out now? Don't forget you got the steering horn or the servo horn still on there. Okay, so you might have to take the horn off or just follow that wire back now, right? And then you can pull it out the other way.
This one. Oh, that gets mixed up down there.
Yeah.
I know it's that one. But
Okay, so why don't you untangle the bunch of wires here?
Oh, I see one moving. You see that one?
Well, it should be plugged into 2, I think.
Number 2, this one?
If I remember correctly. But let's make sure you follow the wire. That way, if you don't know, then you're following the correct wire back.
No, number 2 is this cord.
Hold on.
That one's number 1.
Is it number 1? Okay, number 1 is servo, sorry. Number 2 is throttle.
Unplug it?
Yeah. And then you got to try and wiggle it out, right? So why don't you disconnect this so you can actually start to kind of pull.
I need to get this little guy out first, and then detach this.
No, just wiggle it all out.
Yeah.
Come all the way back from where he was. Now these wires are all kind of jammed under here, so you're going to want to tuck them out. This is just a delicate thing. There's no wrong or right way to do it. You just got to be careful not to pull too hard, and just, here we go. See, he's coming. Now, sometimes they got it stuck under there so you can't get it, so you may have to remove the actual receiver box. Okay, let me take a look here. But when I did mine,
be careful with my band, it's falling out. Here.
When I did mine, well, you can actually take that right out.
Yeah, maybe
and put it with your cover.
For now.
Over here.
Because it's.
Then it doesn't get ripped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or wrecked or anything.
So yours is kind of stuck, but we can also try to just poke it through with a screwdriver. There he comes. Just had to get him over there. Let's see. Like I said, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's more just about you figuring out how to push it through without
hurting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Damaging it, however.
It's something like, well, why are you being so gentle if that servo's broken anyway? Well, we might be able to rebuild that servo or send it back to Traxxas and see if they'll give us another one, or use the actual wiring and plug end on it. So now you want to take off your servo horn.
Yeah. So that is, looks like the big bit. No, actually a little bit. So I need this one.
Don't use a drill on a servo horn.
Yeah, true.
Because if you get in that habit, then you accidentally use a drill to tighten a servo horn on, and you strip out the gears in your servo.
Yeah, we know that from previous times.
You're not supposed to tell that stuff.
Fixing stuff.
You're not supposed to tell them that we break things.
Well, it happens when you're fixing, especially when you're starters.
That lifts off, son. There you go.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, this servo's stripped right out. You can tell. Hold on, let me see the horn. Let's make sure the horn is in good shape. Now, it is a good idea to replace your horn if, well, guess what? Your servo might be fine. I think your horn's no good.
I still want to change my servo.
Okay, that's fine. You can still change this servo.
Because this servo will still break.
Yeah, but regardless, you're still going to need a new servo horn. You actually stripped out your horn. So, it's a good idea to replace your horn. And when you put more torque or a higher torque servo in, it's a good idea to go to an aluminum horn. We don't have any aluminum horns, and I'm not even sure if we have any spare horns kicking around. So we will check it out. We will look for one. I also didn't have an aluminum horn when I put the new steering servo in my truck, but it's worked fine so far. So now, the one thing you're going to want to note is this new Savox is a touch taller, but it still fits perfect, like I said, because I put it in mine. The biggest problem is the length of the wire.
This one's short.
The new one is not long enough, so you're going to have to extend it. There's two ways to extend it. You can get yourself a male servo plug with wire, which we have. Cut it, splice it, and solder it together, which is the way we're going to do it.
Yeah.
The other way is to get a adapter, Y adapter connector, or a connector extension, basically, and it's got a male or female on the other end, and that can make it longer.
Yeah.
So we will solder an extra length on here. We're going to do that off camera because I'm no pro solderer, so I'm not going to try to teach you how to solder. I can do it to get by, but and I can do a decent job, but I can't show you how to do a good job. So we will come back with the new cord soldered on, okay? Alright guys, so I said I wasn't going to do this, but we're going to attempt it. Anyways, the extension that we got from our hobby shop, the ends are already pre-tinned on that, so we don't have to worry about that. These guys here, off the servo, we've cut off what we don't need, and we've stripped them and got them ready. So I'm going to give these little wires a pre-tin, and all that does is help, so when you're trying to put the two together, they already have solder there. Always recommend to have some flux. Just helps the solder seep in easier. Have my solder ready. Solder guns are hot and ready. Clean tip. A little bit of flux. A little bit of solder. Put the solder on there. And that one's pre-tinned. And I don't recommend holding the wires because they can get quite hot in your fingers. That's why we have this little thing here, but I have pretty strong fingers. So if you're following my direction and doing it my way and burn yourself, I apologize, but do as I say, not as I do. That's what I tell Dyllan all the time. So now those are all pre-tinned.
Yeah.
Get a little fray one there. Okay, so we're going to clean off that end. Now that's pre-tinned. And then the other thing we are going to do is we are going to make sure that we put some heat shrink on each individual. We got to put some heat shrink on each one so that we don't have any connection. It's touching. So, a little heat shrink. You get this quite cheap online from, you know, Wish or one of those overseas websites. So we're going to put the heat shrink on here. Like so. And then I use this little handy dandy clamp. Okay, and then we're going to want one more larger heat shrink to cover the entire thing once we're done. So, like I said, you get packages like this for, I think, $1. Your hobby shop will charge you a lot more if you don't know any better.
Done with the heat shrink?
I think so. There we
Does
go.
this need to go back in?
Just make sure you choose a large enough one to go over all the wires and these little guys after. That's the way I like to do it, to seal the whole unit. Okay, so now obviously with this one we got everything's color coded, so same color, same wear. So we're going to want to attack it at that angle. A little bit of flux, a little bit of solder, heat it up. And this is why I wasn't sure I wanted to do this on camera, because as I said, I can do it. I'm not that bad at it, but I'm also not good enough to show anybody what to do. There's one. We're going to do the red guy. A little bit of flux, a little bit of solder. Heat it up. There's two. And one last guy.
Just the peachy color.
Yep. And we might want to move this so that we can get at it at this angle. Try to make them clean and straight as possible so that our heat shrinks and everything else goes over. So just like so. So that pretty much does the trick there. Now you can use a heat gun or a lighter, obviously, on this heat shrink. I use a lighter. You'll be able to tell right away if your solder is not very clean, because you won't be able to get your heat shrink to slide over your bad solder job. So mine seemed not too bad because everything slid in pretty good. So just warm those up and they will shrink into place. Also give them a little squeeze. Careful, it's hot. So now all the wires are together. We're going to slide the big tube over. And see, I made the big tube quite a bit longer so that it actually covered the entire soldering circuit that I built. You want to make sure. The reason I do a double heat shrink is first off to keep each individual wire from touching the other, and then the large one is for waterproofing. So I just find if I do a double job like that, then it keeps everything waterproof. Waterproof servo, waterproof truck. Let's keep everything waterproof. There's our final product. And now we have our Savox has a long enough wire. It's actually a little bit longer than the stock one. By that much, but a little bit extra is okay. Now it'll fit. So that's pretty much the soldering, guys. So we'll get back to actually putting her together.
We're back, so here we go. I'm gonna put this screw in here.
For your servo horn?
Yeah, and just screw it in now. Remember, do not use a drill for this, or else you can like strip your gears and all that. So
Yeah,
just
the
gonna
servo
screw
horn
this
is
in.
delicate, so
Yeah.
if you use a drill and over torque it, you'll strip out the gears inside. Oh, here, let that see. It looks like you might have it a little bit cross-threaded.
Oh.
Oh, that's why. This isn't even the right screw, bud.
No, it's probably.
It's a little
Yeah, it's
short
this.
one. Here.
Whoopsies.
And remember, don't over tighten the
No.
servo horn.
Mm-mm.
Okay. There you go. You're back in. Do you remember where this screw goes now then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what it's for now.
Okay. I do
Okay.
too. That's for your steering link.
Mhm.
Okay.
Gotta get it there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And then.
Do you want this up? Hey, look at me. Do you want this through here?
Yeah.
Or through here?
There.
Okay, so let's put that through first then.
And then put the
And then
Savox
put your
servo down. There.
And let's get this through here.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, buddy.
Okay.
That's what I'm here for. A little bit of help every once in a while.
Yeah.
Eh?
Never hurts to have help.
Well, that's part of the hobby is us working together.
So I
and you
screw the Servox in next, right?
I would do that, yeah. Don't forget your torque, right? Because you're using a drill.
Oh, it's going in. So yeah, I want to put my truck down to about 2 instead of way up at 10. Because when you're taking them out, you can have your truck.
And is that in the right spot?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I know, but these, yeah, see the
Yeah.
little plastic
Yeah, I know.
inserts there? They got to line up properly so you don't crack your mount.
Is it going in?
Yep. Did you forget to reverse it?
Yeah.
You sure did. That's all right. Oh, hold on. See, now this isn't in the right place. So
Yeah.
give me your drill for a second. We're just going to loosen this one off. Okay. And the dog's barking. Somebody must be at the door.
Yeah.
Or the breeze might have blown too. Who knows?
Dumb dog.
It is your dog.
Yeah.
He's a little bit hyper. Okay, so now that that's in there,
Dog running down the hallway.
go this one to that one, right? And then that one to that one. No, this one you did already, so do the one across from it. Not
Yeah.
like crisscross.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know why, because it'll hold this side down, but in the front, and then hold.
Yeah, if you do both on this side, it might pop that end up, right? And same if you do both in the back, it could pop that up, and then it's not in the place that you need it. Here.
I tried to attach the drill to the screw and put
It's
it.
just because you got to be like, see how Dad holds it with his finger too? Until I got it in the right spot. I think you're going backwards again, are you?
Who switched the drill?
I did to loosen that one up a bit. Okay. Now you can tighten that back one up. Hey, there you go. Okay. There.
And then I do this side one.
Sure. It doesn't matter now. Okay. That one's obviously good now.
So this is the hard one because you gotta get down through
Yeah,
the
so
wire.
so hold your screw here and come at it at the side and then go up. Here, let me see.
How?
Do you want me to get that? Here, I'll get that one for you.
Yeah.
Let me see. Give me the screw. Thank you. I can't do it for you if you got the screw still.
I know. I was trying to.
Yeah, the wire's there, eh? Okay, there you go. That's that part. Okay, now let's put your servo wire back into this cute little thing they got there. Look at that. Dad did a better job on yours than mine because your sheet shrink is there. Now where does this go? You got to fish that through and under, right? You don't have to go under these, buddy. That's just the way they had it. You can go on top, right?
Just go like this and then.
But you want it to lay down so that when you put everything back together, it's not popping up and getting caught on things. So, before you get too excited, okay, you can pull it through the receiver first, I guess. Do you need a screwdriver to poke it through a bit?
I got it.
Oh, yeah, little fingers, you're lucky. I can't do that. Now look, here, before we...
I just don't want to lose this end.
Yeah. Okay, so plug it in.
That's what I was going to do, but then you got to stop me.
It goes right back into one.
Whoa.
Make sure you got it pointing in the right direction. Is that
Yes.
one or two? That
That's
is two. I was right. That is two.
Oh, I thought you meant...
No,
That-
one is here.
I thought you meant two right here.
Yeah, no, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. Okay, so now that you got that in there, let's tuck your servo wire over here, kind of underneath a bit, so that it all holds it. You see, that's part of the reason they had it under there too, eh? Okay, and then you want to pull as much of your loose through here.
Yeah.
So that more of it's in the box, right? Then you got to twist this back up. Put it in there. Okay, now remember too that you have to make sure all your wires, buddy, are you watching?
Yep, I'm watching.
Are in the foams here. This part's a little bit,
Tricky.
well, it's not tricky, but you just got to be careful.
Yeah.
See, you should have brought your, look, listen. You should have brought this wire underneath because now it's on top. See, now you're out of the foams. See, you have no way to put that in the foams. So why don't you do that, okay?
I'll really like wire it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because you want all these wires to touch, go on this side of your radio wire.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. I know one thing for sure. Next time I got to do plugs and stuff on
Get me?
these trucks, you're doing it because with those little fingers, you're getting in there no problem. Excuse me.
There we go.
Okay, so now let's twist up your bunch and get it in the box. And this is, we got to be careful here too, right? Okay, so that you don't damage your wires. Move that guy aside. Do you see how they got all these little slots here?
Yeah.
I always try to get every wire that I can into its own individual slot because it'll see a lot better. See, this is where your little fingers might come in handy. Okay, that guy's got it in his own. I'm just trying to get these all in their own little slots almost, right? See how they have like those? See?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's easy.
Now that you have that all done, let's put a little bit of silicone grease. Just a little squeeze. Okay, let's show the camera. Your head's right in the way. So we're just going to put a little bit of silicone grease back on top. Keeps the foams moist and helps keep the water out to do the waterproofing that they talk about. And then you want your seal.
Yep. Goes on here.
Okay, but let's make sure your wires are still there.
Yep.
Otherwise you lose all your waterproofing if it's not on there right. Okay. See, now all your wires are coming out where they're supposed to be. You don't have any wires caught under this, so it's going to sit properly, okay? And then that was these two.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I'll hold it for you while you screw it down. Your torque is
Good
good?
thing I already got the I'm going in, so should be on 2. goes on 3.
Perfect. One on the other side.
There's one. There's 2.
Beauty. Okay, and then you have to put your, where's your rubber seal?
My rubber seal?
Yeah, you were playing with it, right? See? Come on, buddy. Stay focused here. Okay, you know you can also, make sure it's in the, so explain to people what you're doing too.
Just put in
There might be other kids out there that want to know.
Put in the rubber band.
Gasket. And make sure it's lined up in the crack, right? That's made for it. Okay, now you can also put a little bit of silicone grease in here.
Yeah.
And you only need a very, very little bit.
Okay.
The rubber gasket will waterproof, but if you put a tiny little bead of silicone grease, it'll just give you that little extra confidence that it's completely sealed. Yeah, see, you're putting way too much, buddy. When Daddy said a little bit, I meant like a little bit. Like you only need just a tiny, tiny bit. All it's doing is helping create a seal between your rubber gasket. Your rubber gasket pretty much does it on its own. This is just that little tiny bit. If you got a tiny little scratch or a tiny little rock or something in between your gasket, that'll seal that, right? Okay, and then make sure you put it on right. Make sure all your wires are tucked in. And as you're putting it on, it's very important not to move your rubber gasket. So just come down on it completely flat. Right? There you go.
Okay, so.
And then put in your 3 screws.
1, 2, 3. Pull them over here.
Nobody can see you. You're standing. Do you want to get rid of the chair? Or
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so there's one.
You're going to do the one where my finger was?
Then you can put your finger in for the other 2.
Like we've talked about before, guys, if you've watched our channel at all, and if you haven't, that's cool too. And if you haven't, and you like this entertainment, hit that like button and smash that subscribe and keep up. We're gonna have videos coming out like crazy. So, but what I was trying to say there is, if we're a little confusing and stuff, we do apologize. But part of our channel is about RC is for everyone. And that means that we really focus on Dyllan and I hanging out together, father and son, doing things, and so yeah, sometimes it's a learning thing as we go, and you know, Dyllan's trying to figure it out, and we're trying to encourage each other, and overall we're just having fun. So maybe some of our repair videos might not be as technically sound and instructive as other guys you've seen out there, but it just shows you how dad and son can work on these trucks together. Yeah, bond, that's a good word, bud. And then when we get the fixing done, then we get to play.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Okay,
yeah.
Yes, this screw, we could have taken the whole front end apart to do this, but that would have been a real pain. So just hold it. See, look what Dad's doing. I'm just lining it up with one finger, and then sometimes you got to be delicate, right? Oh, hold on. It's not always about power. Sometimes it's about finesse. Straighten your screw up. Your screw's crooked. There you go. Good. You're in.
Booyah.
And guess what? She's fixed. Now, if you want to get a battery quick, you can show everybody that you actually fixed it. I guess we can make sure it worked. And if it doesn't work, then we're going to look silly on camera. But that's okay.
Well, it'll probably work.
Okay.
You want to plug that in?
Yeah.
For me? Thanks.
Okay.
You can turn the
No,
truck
go ahead. You got it.
Give it a minute.
What? Is your controller on?
Yeah.
And you're sure that's your controller?
Yeah.
So what did we do wrong, my boy?
Uh-oh.
Okay, now we look silly. Okay, don't do that.
Everything seems fine.
You got throttle. You got throttle. So you know what happened? You probably plugged the receiver into the wrong spot. Or plugged the servo into the wrong receiver hole, but that's fine. And don't worry. Don't worry, we'll just keep going. Maybe we'll just edit this part out. Sometimes people like to see blooper reels too. Are you sure that's where it goes, or was it supposed to be in the first hole?
Check the first hole, maybe. Throttle. A little bit. Throttle.
Did you plug this in? Oh, you plugged it in backwards, that's why. You gotta make sure that all your pins are the same way.
Do I, Dylan? Do I?
See? You gotta see, make sure all these are the same way. Okay? So is it that one or the first one?
I think it's,
Do you remember?
that was that one.
Was it right next to
Here.
the other one?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
guess-
and I got better torque now.
And you're turning in reverse. And realistically, we should have tested it before we put it all back together. That's great. Yeah, we got reverse steering. So it works in either one. So which one was it in, son?
It was in the one closest.
Closest?
To this.
Okay. So we're going to put that back in.
How did we get reverse steering?
Sometimes that just happens when you put in a new servo. And that's easy to fix.
What do you gotta do? Let me see. This way it should go right. And it goes left. Right,
It's okay,
left.
that's easy to fix. I will show you how to do it. And we can even show them in the camera. Okay guys, so now that we got her all back together,
There'll be an extra
except for the
lesson.
receiver box, our steering is in reverse. And sometimes that happens when you put a new servo in. Dylan, do you want to put the screws back in?
Sure.
But that's an easy fix and we'll show you.
Yep. No problem showing you how to do it. Oh, might help if I have it going. I'll do this one next.
Yeah, I know, I'm just holding the box down so that the gasket doesn't slip and go in the wrong spot and pinch, right? Okay, cool.
That's not good when you lose screws and put them into all your truck, because then you gotta dump them out.
That's why you gotta hold it until you get it into the right spot. Okay. Good. Okay, so that's all together. You still got steering? Yep, it's just reversed, right? Okay. So how do we reverse our steering? This should be a whole new video, but we will make it part of this video.
Two
Or-
lessons in one.
Or we'll go like this. Hey guys, if you have reverse steering, this is how you fix it. Maybe we'll edit this part in, eh? Okay. So, hey, if you guys have reverse steering, we're going to show you how to fix
Now
it.
that we installed the steering servo on the Traxxas TRX-4, the steering was in reverse, so we're gonna have to fix that because it happens a lot when you put a new steering servo in. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So first you turn the TQI remote on, then you wait till the green light's on, then you hold the menu button down for 3 seconds, and then once it blinks after, you push menu one more time, and then after it blinks twice, you push set. And then once it blinks green once, then you push set again. Once it blinks red once, you push set again, and then it'll blink green once, and then go off, and then once the light's off, you turn your remote off, and then you turn your remote back on, turn your truck on, left, right, and it's back to normal. So see you in the next one on Let's Play RC. Bye!
Until then, get out and play!